I think. Okay, I think we're good. Let me know, guys, where I'm like my microphone's not here. I forgot I don't use it. Let me know if you guys can hear me. And I lost my thing. Okay, you should see my desk. And where's my webcam? Here I am. Hey guys. Okay, sorry about the glitch in the beginning. I wasn't on my 5G network and it wasn't working and it wouldn't even start. So sorry I didn't test that ahead of time. I usually do that. And I have your comments here. And I want to say this video is private for Patreon supporters. But if you share it with other people, they can see it. So please don't share it. It's unlisted on YouTube. Anybody with a link can see it. I prefer to keep it for us, and I will do this more. Thanks, you guys can see and hear me. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jody and BB and Amanda and Patricia. I say Patricia, it's Huntress Habits is Patricia. And BB and Jamie and Marianne and Darlene. Thanks, guys, for being here. This isn't a normal scheduled video. And if you haven't noticed, there was no video this week. What did I do? Was there no video at all? I didn't do any video this week, correct? Callie, she won't talk out loud. Callie's here, but she's leaving soon. Callie's my assistant, if you don't know. And so I have been working on this card. Like, to make the vase itself, I think took a whole day. So there's a vase in this card that is made from free shapes. And I didn't want just, I'm like, I looked in Design Space, okay, what are shapes of vases? And I saw a bunch that were just, you know, just flat and like a cup. I'm like, well, I don't want that. I want something more than that. So I chose a more difficult one to make out of free shapes. Lots of slicing, lots of welding, lots of making it bigger so I could cut off the tiny little points. And I still don't think I did perfect, but then I had to slice the sides. I was really trying to get even. I was using a line and doing all this stuff to make this perfect for you guys, so you didn't have to pay 99 cents to use a vase. So yeah, just my golf cart video is all I did, isn't it? So what I did is I sliced the vase in half, duplicated it, and flipped it over and welded it together so it's perfect on both sides. Okay, so I did about 3 test cuts, and the last one I thought, oh, it's good, I'm gonna do it now, and it's ugly, and so I'm gonna show you, I'm not showing you my first test cut. I think that ended up in the garbage right away. But I'm gonna show you the test cuts. So I'm gonna show you like my practice rounds and you know what didn't work and didn't work. And then I cut it out of really pretty paper for my last test cut. And that's what I'm gonna put together today. So hopefully it works out because I love the paper. And then I have another one cut already, and I'm going to do that one live on Tuesday. But I wanted to do this for you guys and wanted to give you the files. You don't have the files yet. I have a post that's ready somewhat, but I want to get some impact from you guys on more ideas for this card, because this is Mother's Day card. And I was thinking this also could be for teachers or for nannies or babysitters or anybody like that. And I have a couple different cards that we'll do today. Okay, read in the chat. Yeah, you can only get to this video from the Patreon post, so please don't share this video link with anybody. Okay, let's get started. And I also have the file in Design Space, so I can maybe, I had to include an envelope with this because I measured my card, but everybody's card may be a different size and maybe a different size envelope. So I'm gonna show you that in the Design Space So remind me to ask me about the envelope. And I haven't tested the envelope. The envelope comes in 3 pieces. It's the only way it would fit. Okay. That's not where we're at. That's a side view. That's my messy desk, but I have to show you a side view of the card standing up. So I didn't want to show you. I want this one. Okay. All right, guys. So this is a test cut. This little thing here was kind of an idea by Callie, and I'll show you more about what that idea is. So this is the front of the card. This is not, I was just test cutting to see if the mechanism worked. And I didn't have any ideas for the inside of the card. When you flip the card over like this, okay, that looks funny actually. But, so when you do this, it has flowers up here. Okay, so then we went to this one. And okay, this all is us testing inks that would go in the center of the flowers. And I was testing the sprays for inks here because I had an idea to spray the entire flower with ink, but then you'd have to do the front and back because when you glue them together, it just is, it's not perfect. Well, it could be if you do it, but I don't do things perfectly. And so I thought, then I got, okay, I feel like I'm going all over, but I just want to show you the flowers. So then I got the idea after I cut out 10 of these little, you can't see them, acetate flowers, because my idea was, okay, like here's the flowers. My idea was to set these on here, spray the flowers with these sprays, and then you'd have a white center so they wouldn't just be plain white. This is copy paper I took from my printer. You have to use thin paper. If you have scrapbook paper that's real thin, you could do that. The Cricut scrapbook paper is too thick. You have to have thin paper. So I'm just using printer paper. But after I cut these, I got the idea, and I may be going all over, and we'll explain it more as we go. When I'm putting the card together, you'll understand. To make a stencil like this. So what I did is I sprayed the stencil like this. And at first I had it flat on there, and then I thought, like this one, I lifted it up a little bit so it sprayed a little bit. I haven't showed you the card. So it gave it more speckles, like this, not the best one. So here's the front of the card. This sticks out of the card. There's no way around it. Unless you find a way around it, please let me know. But in order to have these flowers end up where I want them, they have to stick out of the card, and that's why the envelope is shaped differently. So this is just printer paper, but I cut it out of cardstock after I made this. I'm like, that's ugly. This one doesn't have to be printer paper, so I did cardstock. So this is to kind of put over to the side to cover up this mess. And remember, this card is not a finished card. So put that over like that. And then this is a vase. I used vellum, and I had to rip up the glue and put it back down. Looks like a hippo. So that's why it's a mess. And it is a mess. And this is off the edge, but there's a reason for that. I found out while I was putting it together, and that's why I ripped it off. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do that. But I don't like the way this was glued down and the way I was folding it, and everything was a little bit of a mess. So I made some other smaller flowers that like will be on here. And then when you open it up, it says Happy Mother's Day. And this was her idea with the string there, but I'm gonna use ribbon. So this kind of looks like a bouquet, like, you know, the kind of bouquet that's like in tissue that you get in a box or something. This really wasn't, I didn't care about the inside that much. This says turn over and invert card. If you're giving it to someone, you may not have to have that in there. You can just detach it or put something else there or move this to here. But I was afraid people might not understand because I've never seen a card like this, and I don't know if anyone else has either. Okay. So then when you turn it over, then it says, thanks for helping me grow, which I don't think I like this pen on the, I don't like these colors actually. I do like the colors of these. So then you bend it like this, and I have stems that go in here that I didn't put on because the card was just a mess. And if you lift this out just a little bit, that helps it a little. So I'm going to show you how this looks. I'm going to switch my cameras. Where's the camera? There it is. So that's kind of how it looks when it's done. And we have little stems to put there. I thought that was cute. Do you guys like this idea? How come I can't see the chat? Is no one chatting? I don't see the chat.
It's there.
There it goes. Someone says cute. No, you guys were not talking, so I don't know you're here. It says 56 people are here. Maybe it's just slow catching up. Okay, so do you guys like this card? Like, you don't have to like the paper colors. Is that neat? Will people get it? So you open it up, and I don't think that looks terrible. But it looks awesome like this. So I'm picturing somebody leaving it on their desk or something, you know, and then they have kind of a bouquet of flowers. But these other papers are much prettier. It's like nobody wanted to respond or talk to me. We are here. Oh, a great sympathy card too. And I was thinking like get well or something too, or feel better. So if you guys have ideas of what we could put on the inside of the card, actually we could not even leave anything here and just put like get well on the front or something. On the inside. So do you guys think they'll like this? Like, I don't like the way this sits right here. I'm going to glue it differently. Hopefully this was just a test. Okay. Yeah, thinking of you. Yeah, it all had to sink in. Has anyone seen a card like this before? Okay, I kind of be honest, my mom gave me a card for my birthday, and it had a pop-up thing that was kind of like this, but it popped up the other way. It popped up this way and was different and had different things going on, and I'm like, I want to use that somehow. And I just thought of like with these flowers, and so I'm like, I could pop it up here and put a vase, and this doesn't like, maybe if you get this, you don't totally know it's a vase, and you certainly don't know that there's stuff on the back like that. Okay. Okay, you guys haven't seen it. Okay, so let me switch cameras. Okay, so won't it be pretty with this paper? I love this paper. This is from Cricut paper. So that will be here, and then I think we have this. It's like watercolor paper and stuff. Okay, and then I have another card, and I have not test cut this card. So this card, it just, oh, I wonder, can I make the vase pop out? I don't know. I didn't even think about it. See, this keeps happening. I keep getting different ideas. So here, the flowers are going to come up here. This card is much easier to make. The other one is not hard because I have like this one. This one's a mess. But what I did is, see, this was glued on like 3 or 4 times to get it right. I put these writings on here, but I took this off because I changed the way you do it. You don't glue it up there. I'll show you in a minute. But this has a circle, so you line the circle up and then you spread the legs out on either side of this. I also took that bottom part off because that's not needed. So I did this so you knew how to make it. And then I made the parts to cover it up. And see, this got ripped because I was sprayed it and then pulled it apart when it was wet. See, I hid all the little things. Yeah, okay, so this is the front. Hey, Sheila. And this is the inside, but then this is the best side. I don't know what. I call it the best side. It's actually the back and the front of the card. Yeah, there are actually lots of videos on YouTube with this flower. I did not invent the flower. Did not do that at all. You can cut these out by hand and you can color them by hand and you can totally do these flowers. There's lots of videos on the flowers. But I added 3 extra flowers. So most of the flowers, the flower videos, all that I saw, I watched a few different ones because I did not invent this. I got it from the people on YouTube. They only have these 7 flowers. And then I added 3 more flowers to make it look like a bigger bunch of flowers. But yeah, I did not do this part at all. I only thought about this part coming up and going and then turning it around. And then it's like a gift. Yeah, there is colored copy paper you could do with the flowers. That would be great too. And you don't have to mess with this. But I'm going to use this. This is Gina K ink. You guys can't even read that, can you? And my stencil. But you can use colored paper. I just didn't want to run to Office Max and buy a bunch because I liked it with just the center done. Okay, so then we'll put together this card too. And this goes on top, so the front will be like this. This is all, we had to use 2 sheets of this, but this is all the same paper. So I like this double-sided paper from Cricut. Callie really loves this paper. Callie and I have such different views on, I like bright colors, she likes subtle colors. And she like really wanted to use this. So then I said, well, let's do this card. I said, let's choose the paper you like. So actually you cut for this card and that one, you put everything like this, and then we just flip this over. We did the same thing for this card. This was on the mat like this. So all of this paper was all cut like this because there's writing on this, and then we're just flipping it over. Yeah, I was gonna test it with crepe paper because I do have a lot of Leah Griffith crepe paper. I need to do a video on that. She sent me some crepe paper. And I don't, these stems are kind of little. Or I might make these stems bigger in the file. I thought they were bigger. Okay. What are we going to do first? I don't know where this all goes. Okay, let's put the flowers together first and color the flowers. So I showed you how to do the stencil. We should have 10 of these flowers. 10. I have some extras. Oh, well, you know what? This one didn't get cut in the cardstock. That's okay. We'll do that later. Okay. So first, before we fold them, they're all scored, but they don't fold that well. Hi, Angela. I'm going to use the stencil, and when I was ripping the stencil off the mat, I don't know if you guys can see, there's just a tiny little rip there, and that's okay because I just use that where this is missing. So each petal, when it's on the mat, it's a full flower, but I changed these score lines to cut right here because we're going to fold these up like this. But first I'm going to ink the middle of the flowers. This is Innocent Pink. It says Innocent Pink Ink Cube. I read it as Innocent Pink Ice Cube. Okay, can you guys see me down here? I'm gonna move these stems. I'm gonna lose those. So I've never done this. I'm just testing this out. There. I think that'll be okay. So then what we're gonna do, using May's glue. You've only used your Cricut Maker twice. And one thing I noticed on these is, oh, I need to fold these first. Sometimes it looks better with one petal over the other. Actually, I don't have to fold it first. Let's try it without folding it first. So I'm just putting glue there. And then I'm just going to fold it like this. So it's going to score all of the petal pieces. So then your flower looks like that. I kind of like that. This is the first time I've done this like this. So I'm going to go ahead and ink all these first, and then I will glue them together. And you can, this should line up. Whoops. Uh-oh, maybe I had it. I had this upside down. So make sure you use the ink, the part that has ink on it on the top. This will line up with the petals. And if you do use the dilution sprays or any sprays that you have, make sure this is dry before you do too much with it. And you can use daubers with ink, or, you know, do it any way you want to. And you can just use colored paper and not do this at all. You know what? I'm going to line these up. And I'm going to show you how easy this is. Did I do them all? 1, 2, 3. Don't do those. And Callie asked me, well, why don't you just cut little paper to put in the center? The reason is because it makes it too thick. That's the reason we're using this paper, is because like in these are, this is cardstock. And look how thick that is. You guys see how thick that is? It's hard to, it's like 3/4 of an inch, not 3/4, 1/4 of an inch thick, maybe 1/3 of an inch thick. So that's why you want to use thin paper. Okay, I think I got it all. Whoops. Yeah, you can use the daubers. Okay, so now we're just going to put glue, and I didn't put my pin in there. And one petal just goes over the next petal. I'll move it up here so you guys can see better. So one petal goes over the next petal. This is really easy. I'm not sure how crepe paper would score with these. I've never tried it. I'm not sure how, like in my mind, I think it would rip. But I don't know. But they all have to kind of fold. Good. Do you guys have any questions on anything so far, or just anything in general? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I did think of crepe paper, and I just didn't know if it would work. Oh yeah, they did. They made squares and triangles. Jamie saw those a few weeks ago and showed them to me. But when you look in Design Space, it looks like it has written on it the places to sew, like the pen would write, but it doesn't do that. Guess it's not supposed to. I don't know about the pearl paper. Pearl paper is thicker than this, but it still might work. It'd just be a little thicker. But pearl paper, it messes up so easily. Like that just looks awful. The vase, you know, it just, so, and I thought, I'm not trying pearl paper, but it could possibly be good. Okay. Okay, now you fold them all in half like this, and you put them in a formation like this. Makes it easier. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9. 10. Let's do this one. Because one time I only did 9 and I'm like, something's wrong. This doesn't work at all. You can do it with just 7, but you're going to be stretching it. Oh, thanks, Jamie. Jamie says she did it, but it takes forever for the glue to dry. I gotta move this so I can read your comments better. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the formation is like this. Now, you can watch other videos on YouTube, and they put dots and stuff on it, and I first originally did it with dots on them, and I had Design Space write them. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Why are they doing those dots? So that's right now 4, 6, yeah. Okay, so, okay, let me move these all on the black so you guys can see this better. And I have to show you how to put the envelope together. Because it's in 3 pieces, it's the only way it would fit. That took some brain work today. Like, oh, I'm done except for the envelope. So I made that from scratch. Okay, see how these are laid out? It's just gonna make it easier. So we're gonna take the first one and we're gonna put glue on this petal. And we're gonna take this folded petal and put it right on top of that one. And when you do this, you gotta kind of make sure you're not going over the score line here. Does that make sense? And then we're gonna put this one here. So let's put glue here. Yeah, this video will always be for Patreon supporters to watch. Kathy, are you talking about like when I do the petals? I just see whichever works better with the ink. It doesn't matter which petal you glue, as long as you end up with 6 petals. It doesn't matter. Okay. So now we have these 3 done, and then we have these left. So now we're going to put this one on top of the top 3. So this one is facing this way. That's why I have these facing up and these facing out. So then I'm going to put glue on all 3 of these top 3 petals, and we're going to put this on top of there. And we're going to glue that on there. Okay, so now this one, we're gonna put glue here, and this is gonna be glued on top of that. So now I'm gonna put glue. So here's the top 3, here's 3 here, 3 here. We're gonna put glue on this one, to the left of the middle one in the top. This is the middle one. So we're going to put glue here and here. And we're just going to continue to do it like this. And put a little more glue. And we have to make sure the glue is dry before we continue on with this part. So now we're going to put the glue on the top again. So we're going to the top 3. And putting this here. And then we're going to go to the side and we're going to do it on these 2. And then we're going to go over here. So it's really just repeating this process. The first time I did this, I had to watch a video right before I did it and as I did it. Like I glued one piece. So if you need to, you can rewatch this video and you can do the first one and pause it and then watch the first one, pause it, then go and do it. So then the last one will be up here. Callie is getting ready to leave. She's going camping for the weekend. She won't talk. So she's going home early tonight. Okay, so we're done with the flower. I really should wait for it to all dry. Oh wait, I've got glue on there. So then it opens. I'm afraid to pull it too much, but you get the idea, right? I want it to dry first. Okay. Now I have all these flowers. I don't know if these are way too many flowers. I took some of them out of the file already. I also made leaves. You'll notice none of mine have leaves on them, because the leaves made it stick out of the card even further. Like you would have to stick the leaves like on here or something, and it's just gonna make it stick out further. So I choose not to do the leaves. So like they would be like this, and they're pretty if you want to use them, or you can make them a little smaller too. They're a little big. Those are free images also, but with it sticking out of the card. But the leaves might be good for the other card. I don't know if they're in the other card. Bye, Kelly.
I'll see you later.
So I hid the leaves. They're in there. Okay. Letting this dry. Okay, let's get to the other difficult part. Here is, like some people said, this looks like Iron Man. Yeah, so I'm like, can you tell what I'm making? Oh, Drew, that's funny. I'll have to tell her that. Okay. So let's fold. See, isn't that so pretty? I love this paper. We're going to fold this in half. It is scored in the middle, but I should use something. Here's, I should use the scraper. Where's the front of the card? Isn't there the front of the card? Oh, it's right here. Yeah. I'm confused. So normally I make a block that goes on the front. Actually, it's this. But this time I didn't do blocks. I did it so when it's opened, it looks like there's not two different sides, that it's meant to be one piece when you have it this way and the vase sits here and the flowers are up here. So that's why it's in this one piece. And I'm gonna flip this one too. Oh, this is the back of this one. I love this paper too, but we're not gonna see this side. But I didn't want writing on this paper because it'd be harder to see. And we're gonna have to turn this one over and score it to go both ways. Actually, the other one too. I want it to easily fold both ways. Okay. So first we're going to, and this, might as well score this one too. And this one, you don't see the pretty side either. Okay. And then this is the envelope. You can use matching paper for the envelope, but I'm probably not going to use the envelope with my card. So I didn't want to waste my favorite paper, because this is my favorite paper, to make it match, because I probably won't be using it. But I'll show you how to do this envelope. Before we're done, if I forget, yell at me. The envelope! Okay. So now this has a score line here and here and here and down here. And this is the side that goes this way. Remember, these petals, because these are guides for you to glue on the flowers. I have these guides written on here for you. So that gets posted this way. So don't put this together where you can see these. So we're gonna do this one. Yeah, well, I was gonna give it to my mom. I guess I'll put it in an envelope, but she'll just throw the envelope away. Okay, so let's do the score lines first. So we're going to score this way. And then, let me remember, because I switched it. First I had them folding under, and now I have them folding out. It works better that way. Bye, Helen. Thanks for coming. You can watch it later. Okay, where's the score line? I can only see it on the textured side. Okay, so let's score those. Okay, now if you guys get lost, let me know. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna match up this circle here with the circle here. I wrote a circle on there so you'd know where to put this. And I did change this file, and I got rid of this line and this line, but not the outside line. Let me show you guys up close, because I don't know. So on the file you get, it'll have this line, but not this one. Because I changed it, that's not needed for you. So you'll only have these two lines, not the middle ones, because you could see those in the, like here, you can see those lines. I don't know if you can see them very well, but in my original file I was gluing this stuff up here so it would cover it up, and then I switched it, but I didn't switch it till after this was cut. Okay, So we got to do it this way so we do not see these leaves. Oh, that's awesome, Glenda. I have lemon and peppermint I did today, and it's energizing me today because this video was not planned before today. I was going to do a sneak peek, and I was just going to have Kelly help me in video just a little thing of the card opening up and stuff. I'm like, no, let's just do a whole sneak peek video. And then I'm like, let's just do it on video with them. So we are going to, you have to put the glue almost all the way up to that score line. Okay, see that? Up to the score line and on the outer parts of this whole thing. You want this glue to stay on here well. And then you're going to lay it on here. And if you make a little bit of a mess, it's really okay because it's going to be covered up. So push this down here up to the score line. So all this should be glued. And like I said, this is going to be covered up. I made this so it can cover up the mess. Okay? So you can't see anywhere this comes out. Okay, now I'm seeing a mask again. The eyes. So that'll be like that. And then we're going to glue these. This line here is going to match, the score line on here is going to match the score line here. So we're going to put glue all over the bottom of this triangle, and then we're going to glue it there. So it's going to go down there. My watch thinks it's time to stand. And you got to kind of move it a little, like it's not going to fit, it's not going to lay flat on it. You kind of got to, you know, you got to, I'm moving my shoulders. You can't see me. But like, it's not just like this. It's not so easy because this is not following this line. So you got to kind of like move it up a little. Does that make sense? Not just flat like this because that line is going a different direction. So you got to move it up to follow that line. And hold it down until the glue dries. I have all of those oils. Okay. So now what we're going to do, now that we have this on here, if all the glue is dried, we need to fold this and press it down. I'm going to put this over the whole thing to rescore that all where it's at. Okay? Because you want it to open like this. See? Is that fun? Okay. So now this is kind of easy, I think. I hope. I only tried this once. So this goes on here. And I always have a problem right here. I didn't put this. Let me see. I'm going to take this up. I'm going to glue it on again. And I'm going to make it a little higher. I don't think I got it right where that line was. So we need it almost above the line a little. Like up above the line. There. Okay, let me let this dry. I love that Joy oil. That is my favorite oil. It's like a happy pill. And it's okay if you mess up this card below this, because it's all covered up. Okay, there, now this lays flatter. So make sure when you're putting this on, you put it like almost above those little lines. Okay, so now, now what are we gonna do? We're gonna glue this on. And this is even with the card. So it's like the same size as the card. Okay, I'm gonna do, and you know, a lot of times you do a card is you glue one side on and then you put glue on the top here and then you fold it over and glue this side. You cannot do that with this card. I almost tried and I'm like, wait a minute, that's gonna glue this down. So you can't do that with this card. But I am just gonna do one side at a time. So I'm gonna put glue around the whole outside edge. And if you guys have any questions, I know there's a lot of newbies who've never crafted or made cards before. You can ask me questions. A lot of people in the chat I know could answer your questions too. So I'm going to put this right on the score line and right at the bottom and edge of the card. And I'm just checking that it's all even. Okay, that looks good. Make sure we get this down. Now, I also use the same color paper here and in here, and then it kind of makes it look invisible. You don't really know this is a different paper than this one, and it kind of makes this look even more cool, like, oh, how is that working? You know, people will be amazed. And for anybody watching the replay, you can re-watch the chat too. The chat stays with the video. Okay, I went around the edges a few times and I'm just gonna lay this down. This should be even. Well, maybe not too even right there. Let's get that. It should be. So now we're gonna fold it like this. Check to make sure. That's good. And then I'm also gonna fold it this way, but not all the way in. I'm not gonna fold it all the way in. Just because it's gonna be like this, it's not gonna be totally closed this way. And I think I would have used, can you guys see this? So this whole card is free except for this font. This font is in Access. It's called the beaded font. This is free. This is all free. I made the arrow with shapes, and this is the free font, which you can totally take. You can detach any of the writing and change it to anything you like. But I kind of like that font. So that's an Access. I think it's called the bead font. But I think I needed different color ink. So I'm gonna fold it again, make sure it's all good. See, I didn't get that perfect, but I think it's good. Okay, And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a ribbon around here. I have not done that. I probably should get a different color because this matches a little too well. But I'm not. And I'm horrible at bows, guys. I've never even tried this part. And I just cut this ribbon way too short to actually make it bow. So I'm gonna tie it in a knot. I don't know. But that's kind of cute. That'll be cute. Okay, so now we have the flowers. And I got that one's messed up more. I'll put that one on top. Okay, now we have to glue the flowers on. And normally when you glue this on a card, you take the middle petal and glue that down on the card. Then you close the card and put glue down on this, open the card, put glue down on here, and then it's the middle one. We're not using the middle one, okay? Okay, sound like that guy from South Park. Okay, okay, so we're gonna use the bottom flower in the middle section. There's 4 crossed in the middle, and we're gonna use, I'm pointing to the top, but the card is upside down, and we are going to glue this petal down here. Does that make sense? Why are the rectangles cut out? Are you talking to me or are you talking about those quilt squares? I don't know what you're talking about if you're talking about me. Okay, so we're gonna do not the middle one. If you had the card facing the other way, it would be these bottom ones, but I have the card this way so I can see it better, and hopefully you can see it better on the inside. Oh, I see this. Because with them, it needed to have space here for it to fold and do the maneuvering part. I don't know, it was like the parts get in the way. So that's why I cut that out instead of having it solid across there. Like, because when we're putting this part down, it's not actually straight. It kind of looks straight, but you have to maneuver this and they have to turn it. Actually, you have to turn it a little this way. So you had to turn this piece that way, and you would not have been able to twist this if this was solid. So that's why. Because you have to twist this. And you couldn't twist it with, like it wouldn't have done as well. So that's why. You could maybe cover that up or something. But, okay. So we are going to, oh wait, no, doing the bottom, so I have this upside down. So we're gonna glue these here. So I'm putting glue, not on the middle one, but on the bottom one. And I'm gonna hold that down until it dries. Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, that's what Glenda said is why I use the art glitter glue. Okay, then we have this flower. You see the 6 petals. These 2 are in the middle. We're gonna do the one, I say lower even though I'm pointing to the higher one, but that's because the card is upside down. So we're gonna put glue on this one. And we're just gonna put it over that. And I have to say this card took more than one person to design because I'm like, I needed these marks and I didn't know how to do this. So Callie had to come over and I'm like, can you trace around these? And then I had to, that was this one. She traced, and this is just glue gob. Gobs of glue. I didn't use actual glue on this one. I started using the tape gun. I'm like, can you just draw around those? And then I had to measure everything and get it into Design Space. Yeah, and then I couldn't just have it like this. I had to put those markers on because it would take so long trying to figure out where everything goes. Okay, see now when you close it, this sticks out. I tried and I tried different ways. I myself could not find a way that this won't work. So what I did is, this actually will be cut out of cardstock. And so I know I keep going all over. Okay, so that's gonna go like that. And then I would ink like in the center and then, oh, but we're not done yet. This actually goes here. So it'll be like this, and then this, and then the vase is over here. And then you'd ink the center. But in my file, let me explain my file a minute, because these all need to be out of thin paper, but these do not. And it's better with these in cardstock. So what I did is all the ones that get cut out in cardstock, I moved it from white to just a little bit of gray. So you know they're still supposed to be white, although they can be any color you like, but not on the same paper as these. And in the file, I also attach these so you can fit on 8.5 by 11 paper, because most copy paper is 8.5 by 11. So they're attached, so when you go to cut it, you just need 2 sheets of that, and these will all cut on 8.5 by 11. I could not have made the card wider. That's a great idea, because I thought that, oh, I'm gonna have to make it wider. I couldn't make it wider in Design Space. This is, I don't remember the measurements of this, but I think it's 11.45 all together out like this. This is an extra wide card already, and it will not fit unless I was using 12 by 24 paper, and I didn't want to make a file for you guys that you had to use 12 by 24 paper. So if you want to use bigger paper, make it wider. You possibly could do that. You would have to detach all the lines and then stretch the paper and then attach the lines back in the center. And then you could if you wanted to use bigger paper. But I wanted to make a card everybody could do. Okay, so now we're gonna put this on. And actually, we probably should have done this before we put all the inside on. I don't know. I'll just do 1/2 at a time. I don't know, is there lag? How's the picture? Okay, I'm placing this in, trying to get the center on the top and bottom part. And that's not too centered. You could ink the edges of this too. Okay, so now we're going to put glue on this side. I'm not putting glue too close to the very center line. I do want it close to the edges up here. It should all be centered if the other side is centered. Okay, so I'm folding it this way to make sure it folds okay. And then it's harder for it to fold this way. And this is gonna like poke out a little. I have a fix for that, but I think I have to change these more. My little stem, they're not fat enough. So it's okay for this line to stick up. I don't know if you guys can see. So that line in the center is sticking up. And the reason that's good is because, well, I thought I made these thick. These are not the right ones. Maybe I made those after she cut it, because these aren't long enough either. So I'll have to, you guys will have to see those later, but I'll explain it. And I'm going to check the file and make sure I saved it after I made those. Because this almost looks like a stem. So what I did is, yeah, these are not right. I had to make the stems longer, and I made it. So this box right here, this line will look like a stem. And this is all covered up with the vase. Okay, so now let's get the vase on. So all you see is this little line here, and when we put a green thing over it, it's gonna look like a stem. So you want it to kind of be that way. It's kind of cool. Okay, now this also has a score line, and we are going to score it this way. I like to fold it down in the center and then just, and then we're not going to glue this as tight as we can to this. We're going to pull it away just a little bit, but we can line it up down here at the bottom. And we're not gluing the entire thing on here very well. This paper is separating. I'm going to glue that first. Gotta get rid of this glue glob. Okay. So we're gonna put glue here. We're not gonna put it across the top, and we're not doing it around this top inside curve. And do it there and here. We're gonna do the bottom. You see where the glue is? Here, then some here, maybe a little space there, and then here, and then at the bottom. And then we're gonna put this on, even with the bottom, but not even with the score, with the side. Does that make sense? And maybe not even at the bottom either. So even. Here, my ice maker. Dropping one ice at a time. Thanks, Patricia. This would look pretty too if we inked around the edge. I think that would be pretty. See, I think of these things as I'm doing this. When it's too late. Okay, so now we're going to, I put the writing on here so it kind of went around the curve here. Now we're going to do this one, and we're going to do the same thing. Just a little bit here. And I've never glued it this way. I just did not like the way it glued on that other one. So this is my next test cut. And that should be good. And this is the same font. So if you like this font and you don't have access, I love this font. You can buy the font, I think, for $4.99 probably. Or you can just take this font out and do your own. Okay, so let's open it up and see how that goes. Fold it a little bit so it will stand up okay. And I try to make it so you don't have to pull this out, but then it's kind of too high and it looks so much better if you just pull it out a little. So if you just pull this out on top of that, and it stays up better. Hey, Sheila. And actually, I should have put these on first. These are, oh, you know what? This is the first card. We redid another card. I think the other card, I have another card cut. I think that one has the better stems. So we're gonna make these stems. It's gonna be a little thicker and longer because after I made that one, I realized I had it cut off from here to here. You need it to go deeper because you can see down in the vase. And this line here, I'm gonna put one stem to cover up that line, so that line just looks like a flower stem and looks more 3D that way. And this is also recording on my computer and stuff. If this does not work well, like the buffering, if it's not clear, I can re-upload this video. So you guys let me know. Okay, so that works. So then I'm just gonna, because this needs a bigger middle, and I'm not gonna actually glue this down and use this piece. I'm gonna cut out bigger pieces in cardstock because I don't like this one. And I'm gonna make this a little bigger. I have no idea if this is gonna work what I'm doing. It's probably not. I don't know. Doesn't have to be perfect. So this will, you can't put this on until you close the card and see where you need to cover it up. And then there's little ones. And I thought, you know, you can just, okay, that wasn't very good. But you can put little ones like here. So when they get the card and bring it out of the envelope, it'll kind of look like this is the front. I didn't put any words on the front. You, of course, can make it your card and put any words you want on the front. And then they open it, and it looks like this. Can you see that? Happy Mother's Day. And then if they read this and understand, hopefully they will, they turn it over and fold it like that. And if they just pull that up a little, then it stands up like this. And I'm gonna move to the other camera so you can see it not from this view. There. So is that cool? Do you like it? I think that's pretty. Sheila, I thought about popping the little ones too, but then I think that's going to make the card so thick. It's going to make it thicker than it already is. Well, no, it's kind of only thick right here. You could maybe pop the little ones up a little bit. I think you're right, because the card's thinner here, but thick here. So you're right, you could pop those up a little. Ooh, great idea. Thank you, Sheila. So turn it over. Oh, wow. Won't that be a surprise for them? I think so. I think it's cool. Isn't that cool? Oops. And it's a nice thick card. It has 3 layers. I like it. And it looks like the vase is open, and it looks better with some green there. And then remember, the flowers will still be over here. So this flower will be here, and then, oh, I forgot. I made a flower to put over here too. So you'll have flowers on both sides. Got it? So then that will, you know, bring out the flowers over here and have one over here. Oh, make the vase a little taller. Yeah, I guess you could. I'm just going to keep it like this for now. I'll wait till I get my other one in. But you could, if you have this in Design Space, unlock the lock on it and just pull it, drag it taller. You could make it as tall as the card. Yeah, isn't it pretty? Okay. Now, I have the other one. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. So I don't think I'm going to do this one completely. You do the flowers the same. Before gluing them on, I should have showed you. And you have this on the front, and can maybe stick, let me switch cameras. Oh, wrong one. So this is the front of the card, and then when you open it up, it has all those flowers up here. Well, I'll go ahead and do it, because I got to do it. I want to know what it looks like. Oh, but I want these to have a blue center. So you guys don't have to stay for the next card, but I have to put it together, so I'll just do it with you guys. And you'll get to see me put the flowers together again. And I'll try to do this faster. That one's ripped. You have to be careful taking this paper off the mat. I'm gonna clean this. This is acetate, and when I cut this, I had to create, there is an acetate file, but it never cuts through. So I edited my version of acetate. You can edit your settings, and I added like 50 more pounds of pressure so it would cut better. So because this card is green and blue, I'm going to use this blue. So they're both the file. Oh, which you don't have the file yet. You will have the file soon. I actually have a post almost totally ready. except for I wanted ideas to make more files, but I could upload those later. And so after I'm done with this video, I will give you the file. So you at least have this one. I really like the way this looks with this inking like this. I feel like I'm cheating, not using a dauber or anything. Yeah, I'll get you the file soon. And these will both be in the same post, the file for these and this video. So if you need to come back to the video, it'll all be together. I'm not even trying to do this so totally neat or anything. I don't think they have to be. You know, just to put a little color in the center. Doesn't have to be perfect. At least for me. It's not good to be a perfectionist and a crafter. That would be really frustrating, and I would never do it. If I had to do everything perfect. Okay, I don't even know how many that was. Ooh, let's get to gluing. I don't even have the lid on it. Let's start with these. So it just doesn't matter if you fold it this way or this way. And the more you do, the faster you get at it. And you really don't need as much glue as I'm using, I don't think. And I think these would be great for get better or feel better or congratulations. Congratulations on your new job or for graduating or, you know, any, I'm not even counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I count that one? 3, 7, 8, 9. Why am I always one short? Okay, not using the stencil. The stencil is in the file also. That one does not look the same. Okay. I'll put the pin in. You really should put the pin in so it doesn't dry out. So now I'm gonna like fold all these, make sure they're all scored. So I'm going to go a little faster this time. And if you're just joining us, I showed it more detail the first time I showed this in the other card. And you can rewatch that part. Because to be honest, if it was me, I had to watch, I watched other videos. There are other videos on these flowers, just not like that one with the vase. I've never seen any with the vase. But I had to cut these out and say, okay, how do I glue these again? But now it's easy because I've done a few. So what's for dinner, guys? So I'm moving these 3 ways. So there is a fold at each petal. Chili and cornbread with honey butter. Okay, now let's put these in our formation, and I'm telling you guys, this is the easiest way. If I don't put them in order like this, I get lost. Let me do them all on black so you can see better. So 1 at the top and 2 going this way, and 1 facing up, 2 out, 1 facing up, 2 out, and then this one. I don't want this one on the end. It's got a rip. This one on the end. Okay, so we're gonna take the thin out of the glue. We're gonna put glue here, glue here. Try to get them as best as you can on top of each other. I'm really not that good at this. Hold on. See what I do? I didn't even have a meet. Like, try to have a meet at the bottom a little. Okay, so then we're gonna put glue on this one and lay this one down. I have to hold them. So then we have the one in the middle, and we're gonna put glue at the top 3, top middle 3. I would like to go to Jamie's for dinner too. You got enough for everyone, Jamie? I bet you she does. And you know what? If you guys make a mistake, rip it apart. Try to separate it. You don't know how many times I've done that, and you can't always tell you did it. And that's a nice thing about using just this cheap copy paper. You can just cut some more. It's cheap paper. But you can't, this comes in all kinds of colors. You can get lots of colors of it. So we're putting glue here. Oh, and here. I did used to do it this way, and I didn't like it, so I'm like, one video said you just needed it here, and it doesn't come out as well unless I glue both of these. And here and here. This is Maymay Made It's Art Glitter Glue. I get it from maymaymadeit.com. I'll have to put a link to this in the post too. This is awesome, awesome glue. Okay, now this card is really, really easy. Okay, let's go ahead and, well, I'm letting that dry a little. We'll just, and you know, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it before I glue it down. Isn't that a great idea? I'm just gonna go around the edges of this with glue. This kind of just makes the card look more finished. It adds a little to it, I think. I used to do this all the time. Oh, got a little, I want to add more to the edge, and this is not the best way to do it. Okay. This is the easiest card, guys. Once you get the flowers together, the rest of the card is a piece of cake, I think. I haven't done this one. I haven't test cut it. I don't know how that vase is actually going to turn out. So move this on, look, maneuver it while the glue is still wet. Just get it in the center. Okay. And I got all these different sizes of, I am going to use my finger as a stamp. Now it's got my fingerprint on it. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. I could do another one up here. This would be cute for little kids to make it for their mom with their actual fingerprints. Okay, where's the vase? Over here. Okay, hey, let's do it. I don't know how we're going to get it around that curve. Okay. I'm not going to put the vase on until I put those on. I'm not sure about the vase. When we close it, it's gonna, I think we're gonna close it in, but is it, we can't close it out. Okay, so this is gonna be scored. It does have a score line. So we're gonna score the vase. It's not in the center, is it? So it's gonna be a little off center. And we're gonna glue this one right on the score line. But I'm gonna wait till this is on so I know exactly where to put it. Okay. And how are these? Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, so this is gonna be like that. I think it's pretty. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, here's the score line. So we're gonna glue this here. We're only gonna glue this middle petal. So this is the very middle petal. Whoops, make sure this is all on that side. And then we're gonna put glue on the very middle. This is the very middle petal. So we're gonna put glue there. Oh, and I probably could have put this up higher. Dang it. Is it too late? No. Let's just move it up a little. Okay, that messed that up a little. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, and then it's not totally even. Let's see if it works. Okay. So then that opens up like that. It's not totally dry. I need to dry that more. Isn't that pretty? Thanks for helping me grow. Happy Mother's Day with the flowers. And then the vase. Should I make the vase smaller or is that okay? I never really had these on here when I shaped the vase, and we could move these up with just a little. So I'm gonna put glue right on the score line on this one. This one we want in the score line. We want this flat with the paper. It's not, because if it puffs up like the other one did, it's gonna have too many folds in it because it won't work. I don't think. Okay, I'm going to push this in here. Make sure you don't glue it to the flowers, and then push this down. There. I think that works. This is my first try on this one. This card's much easier. You like the vase the size it is? Yeah, I think it's good. Do you like it? I like it. I think that's cool. Like, I messed up a little over here, but I think it's better up higher. So happy. And this is a 5x7 card. And I do have an envelope in my files for a 5x7 and an A2. This one's 5x7, so it should fit the envelope file. It's at the bottom of the files by type. It's the very bottom of the list of files. Yeah, I like it. I like this one better. I think this one's more fun. Like I said, I need to cut that out in cardstock and add a few more flowers and add the flower here and add the stems. But, oh, that came up. And reglue that. Because I think this is just so pretty with it like this. But this one is much easier and quicker to make also. But actually, I think this would be fun to make a whole bunch of these. Like if you want to make these, you could sit and watch TV and make these and then always have them for any card that you want to make. Now, you could do it with only 7 cards, but see, it doesn't, I don't like the way it, I think the card has to be smaller. I like it with the 10 flowers. I haven't seen one with 10 flowers. All right, that's it. Only an hour and 45 minutes. Oh, yeah. I've never used rice paper. Oh, pin on the glue. I remembered. Now I can't get it in. I'm using my wrong hand. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share this file. Please do not share the video. Please do not share the files. I will post these files on Patreon. And you guys get them this weekend. And then Tuesday, my craft video, I'm going to cut my other one. And I'm using different paper, so you'll see it in a different way. So I'm going to cut the other one. And I think the stems are better, and hopefully it'll turn out a little better. But so that'll be for Tuesday video. If you guys cut these out on the weekend, and please share them, not the file, but share pictures of them on Facebook, and not just in the Patreon group. You could share them in my other Cricut Design Space group, or in Craft Hoarders, or on your page, or on my page. You can tag me. If people want to know where you got the file, send them the link to the Patreon post, not the link to the Design Space file, and not the link to the video, but the post. And if you're not sure you understand correctly, just ask me, or Jamie. Jamie is my admin. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie has helped me a lot in my Facebook groups, and she sometimes lets me know. She's the one that let me know that the Cuttlebug was having an access sale. I had no idea, and she found out, so she told me. So thank you, Jamie, for all you do. And she sometimes notifies me of things going on Facebook sometimes, so I can take care of them. And if somebody's asking a question I need to answer, because I spent a lot of time this week doing these cards. And some people say, well, you don't even work. I say, oh, yes, I work like 70 hours a week trying to do this stuff. I'm not sitting at the pool. So thanks for having patience this week without any crafting videos. So I had to get one out for you guys only. So this video won't be shared anywhere else. Yeah, mulberry paper maybe. I've never used those before. Oh, tell him thank you. Tomorrow I'm getting my hair done, and these white ones are going to be teal. And my roots are going to be pink. And I think I might ask for a blue streak or something. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have an awesome weekend. And if you use these files, let me know. And I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to go upload the files to Patreon. All right, guys, love you. Thank you. I really appreciate you all.